Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you all are having a great day. And today we will be doing kind of a different video. This video was recommended by Cyrus Tanner, so thank you so much for the recommendation. And basically we're going to be doing a finger spin comparison test between the Yoyofactory's pivot and the Yoyofficer's YaCare. Now both of these yo-yos were designed to be able to conquer finger spins, and both are tremendously good at finger spins. They're just both amazing yo-yos, but we're gonna kind of compare the two and kind of decide what one is superior at finger spins. I'll tell you right now, I think it's the pivot, but we'll get into more of that later on in this video. So first, let's just take kind of a look at the face of each of these yo-yos, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty everybody, so here is the pivot, and let's take a look at its finger spin area. So as you can see, here is the rims, and just beyond the rims you're gonna see this very nice bowl cup shape that's just gonna guide your finger right down into a finger spin dimple. So basically you land anywhere in this area, it's gonna guide your finger down right into this dimple. Your finger's gonna lock into place, and when that happens you are finger spinning for days. Alright, another thing is this yo-yo has a very nice grinding surface. So I mean, it just has a beautiful finger spin surface as well, so that helps. And also, another notable thing is that the face of the yo-yo is free of laser engravings, which again doesn't have like that sticky feel to it, or that friction of a laser engraving. So really, you just get solid, long finger spins on this yo-yo. A perfect finger spin design. And let's take a look at the YaCare's finger spin area. Alrighty everybody, so let's take a look at the YaCare's finger spin area. This also has a tremendous finger spin area. As you can see, right beyond the rims, it's gonna kind of like go deeper than the pivot does. It's not like a smooth cup shape. It's like a cup shape, but it kind of, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it kind of has like these ledges. So it's gonna go over this ledge, and then it's gonna kind of be down in this bowl area. And then here's the finger spin dimple, okay? And then there's kind of like a little kind of like ramp or ledge again, just to get into the dimple. So basically it doesn't really guide it into the dimple. It kind of guides it down into this area, and then you kind of have to position it in the dimple. I don't know if that really makes sense. Basically what I'm trying to say is basically it guides it down to here, and then it's flat, whereas the pivot would just has a smooth bowl right into the dimple. If you feel it in here, there's actually like a little, kind of like a little ledge, we'll call it, into the dimple. So it's a tremendously easy yo-yo to finger spin on, but it doesn't really just guide it right down into the dimple. It might take a little more positioning to get it into the dimple, but once again, a very nice looking finger spin area as well. Alrighty everybody, so when taking a look at the finger spin areas side by side, there's a couple quick things I noticed. Number one being that the pivot's dimple is much deeper than the YaCare's, but the YaCare dimple is shallower but also has a larger diameter. So I thought that was kind of interesting as well. And also, once again, just kind of like steps in the YaCare's face of the yo-yo, or in the finger spin area, versus just the smooth slope into the finger spin dimple on the pivot. So with that being said, both are tremendously good at finger spins, and I guess we will go do finger spins with them. Alrighty everybody, so here we are with the pivot. We got a stopwatch here. Let's see how long the pivot can finger spin for. I think we'll just start the timer before we finger spin, and then we'll just take off a couple seconds of the total time. So here we are in our finger spin. As you can see, just locked into place really easy. Finger spinning like crazy. This yo-yo is actually tremendous. I think if you have any interest in learning finger spins, I say definitely check out the Pivot. I think if you know, if you're like really like finger spin style tricks, I say check out the Pivot. And whoops, so 38 seconds. 38 seconds of a, well, alright, that's what the watch said, so we're gonna probably say 35 seconds, which is pretty solid. Again, you probably could get much longer, but 38 seconds is definitely a solid time. So let's try out the YaCare. Alrighty everybody, so here we are with the YaCare. So let's see how long a finger spin we can get with this thing. Start the timer, and there we are. Once again, it takes a little longer to find the dimple, but once you do, it just sits in there and it finger spins. It is a little shallower, so I do notice that it can how do you say it, kind of like wobble or like wobble out, I guess you could say, but in about 30 seconds for the YaCare. The timer said 34, so we're probably gonna go with like 31 or 30, just to be fair. And I believe the Pivot got 38, so both very, very solid finger spin times. Yeah, so very solid finger spinning yo-yos. Alrighty everybody, so final impressions finger spin wise on these two yo-yos, the Pivot and the YaCare. First off, the first finger spin test on the Pivot, we ended up getting 38 seconds, which is really, really good. I ended up doing a couple other attempts with a little more concentration, and in those I got one to go for 46 seconds and 32 seconds, so very, very solid finger spinning yo-yo. And I also came to the conclusion that it takes about 2 seconds for this yo-yo to kind of center, or your finger to reach the dimple, about 2 seconds. So really solid spin times. It locks into place really, really quick. Just a really nice finger spin design. With the YaCare, we ended up getting 30 seconds, I believe, for the first attempt. Then I actually got one to go for 45 seconds, which is crazy. And then one for 34 seconds. So once again, very long spinning, very long finger spinning yo-yo. And I came to the conclusion it takes about 3 to 4 seconds for you to center it in the YaCare's dimple. I also noticed that sometimes, like when it got centered, it kind of like maybe wiggle out of place, and then kind of lock back into place, where basically once you hit the finger or the Pivot's dimple, I just locked into place. Anyway, both are tremendously good yo-yos. Basically, I came to the conclusion that the Pivot has a perfect finger spin area, where the YaCare has a great finger spin area. Both yo-yos I highly recommend. Keep in mind, we are just looking at the finger spin capabilities of these yo-yos and not the yo-yos in general. Also, keep in mind that this is the Pivot, and I don't know if it's like the same, I believe it's the same finger spin design as the Checkpoint Pivot, but then again, I don't know if the Checkpoint Pivot plays any differently than this yo-yo, so just keep that in mind, that this is the Pivot from the mystery box and not the Checkpoint Pivot. But both are great yo-yos. I think if you want to get into if you want to learn finger spins, I say check out the Pivot. If you want to get into like super fancy finger spin type tricks, I say check out honestly either one of these yo-yos. I think both are great at finger spins. And thank you so much for the recommendation for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And let me know what you guys think of finger spins. What's your favorite finger spinning yo-yo? I know there's a lot out there. There's like the Fingerspin from C3 Yo-Yo Design, you know, like the Skyva, even the 2017 Popstar has Fingerspin bowls, you know, the North Star Fingerspin. So Fingerspin yo-yos are out there. These are just definitely two of my favorite finger spinning yo-yos that I have tried. But thanks again so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.